Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone. This is episode 23 of the Meet Prep series. We've been consistently doing YouTube for 5 weeks now, and I'm very, very grateful and thankful for the audience that I've gotten so far, the amount of support I've gotten on these comment sections, in my Discord, on my Instagram. So thank you guys so much for that. But let's get started with today's video. Hopefully the new audience that clicks on this video because of the thumbnail and the title, I'll give you some information or some insight on what happened to me in my experience, my personal experience. And maybe that might give you like an opinion, and it'll persuade you to continue powerlifting or dissuade you from doing powerlifting, because honestly, there's a lot that's happened to me personally the past almost 10 years. So I'm just gonna flat out say it, but powerlifting is not for everyone. And if you think that it's a sport that anyone can do, then you're mistaken. So since social media has erupted the sport of powerlifting, a lot of amazing, insane, freakishly strong athletes have come to the surface. And honestly, social media is like a facade. Everything that goes on social media is like basically a highlight reel. And I'll be honest with you, the people that are at the top of the mountain, top of the sport, they're not going to share with you 80% of what really goes on in the sport of powerlifting. Like training, especially when you're at that level, can be gruesome. It can be like monotonous. So obviously, as you start powerlifting, you experience these things called newbie gains or beginner gains, and it feels like amazing. It's like basically like a high. So basically, when you start lifting, it's an insane amount of progress from the very beginning, and then it just kind of slows down and tapers down eventually as your training experience gets longer and longer and longer. And basically, from the start of your powerlifting career, you're making so much progress as the blocks progress and continue. And the more that you train, the slower your progress gets. And eventually you're gonna get to a point where it might even flatline for a long period of time. It might even regress a lot. And the things that the top powerlifters don't say to you is that powerlifting takes a lot of mental fortitude. Powerlifting is not for the mentally weak. It is something that is very emotionally draining. It is exhausting, physically and mentally. You have to sacrifice a lot if you want to be good at the sport, just like anything else. But with powerlifting, for example, since it is so monotonous, and like by the time you get to the point where you're very experienced, the progress that you're gonna be making is gonna be so slow. Like basically, even now, I'm not even like in the top like 3% of the powerlifting community, and I'm only like able to progress like 2.5, 5 kilos per lift per every like 2 to 3 blocks, and I'm happy with that. But some people might not be, which is what I'm trying to say to you guys. Like, it might be great from the start, and there's a thing called like burnout, which is apparent in everything, but it's more so apparent in the younger age of powerlifting. And I know my audience, the people that I'm talking to right now, are a lot of younger powerlifters. The whole reason I'm doing this video is because I did see a very old picture of me recently with a lot of my old powerlifting friends, and I think I was the only one in that picture of like 6, 7, 8 people that actually still competes or even trains for powerlifting, which is really upsetting to me, because the amount of potential that everybody has, the amount of potential that everybody that trains for the sport has is insane. It's just like people, it's not for them because it's very mentally exhausting, very taxing, very monotonous, doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then obviously as people grow up, priorities tend to shift. And one thing, I think Tim's made a video about this, but because I met Tim around that age where I was very, very young. I didn't have a lot of things going on in my life besides school, my part-time job because I couldn't do full-time, I was in school, and my training. So I had a lot of my time focused to train. But once I graduated from school, once I kind of had to dial down my priorities and focus on like paying bills, then it was hard for me to stay mentally like clocked in for powerlifting. I'm not gonna lie. The junior burnout, like once I aged out of juniors and like started getting the priorities of like the real world, the real life, like that, it kind of hit me like a truck. I didn't know what to feel or expect or like how to even like view training anymore, because I had so many other priorities to be more stressed about than training. Powerlifting is legitimately like my life. I love what I do. I'm a full-time powerlifting coach. I own a gym with like 3 of my best friends. So basically, like I wake up, I train people one-on-one. I train myself, like I do my powerlifting workout, I film content, like I legitimately live the life I've always wanted to live, and I'm very, very happy and thankful for it. But like for some people that have like full-time jobs, like for example, Tim works a 9 to 5. it might be harder for them to commit to the powerlifting training after that whole day of working in an office. Back to the whole mental game of the sport, like getting injured and not being able to perform the way that you want to, like it takes a lot out of you mentally. Like it's draining. It's very disheartening to see your numbers go down. Speaking for someone that's had L5-S1 disc herniation, I was very disheartened. It was very emotionally exhausting on me. Like I would wake up, I would attempt to lift and like barely be able to move around my house and my job because I was in so much pain, and it would be upsetting. I would literally cry myself to sleep because I invested so much time and effort into being great at the sport, and then like being injured this badly, it seemed like I was at the end of my lifting career. But through the right steps with rehab, making sure that I had everything in line, I was able to get back to where I am right now, which I'm very thankful for. But this isn't for everyone. Like not everyone can be able to like kind of make that hurdle over an obstacle that large. There are so many things mentally that powerlifters have to go through that they're not going to post about on their social medias, that they're not going to talk about on their highlight reel. Everyone watching this video, like you have to understand what it takes to get to the level that you want to get at. So like if you ever want to be like insanely strong and competitive in your weight class, like you have to understand what it takes to get into that position. Because it's, like I said, it's a mountain of a hurdle. Like there's so many things you need to endure, so many lessons that you need to learn. And it's not always going to be linear. Hopefully this can apply to anything in your life too, because obviously not everything is very easily attainable. But once you can kind of adapt to whatever you're going through, then you can achieve those goals that you set. I don't know when this turned into like a motivational page or talk, but this is just kind of like my experience with powerlifting in general. And I don't know, like I feel like I said before, I just wanted to voice how I felt and what I've experienced, because you don't get that from many other creators about powerlifting. Like no one's gonna talk about their lowest of lows, or when they didn't progress, or like when they cried themselves to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fully transparent with my audience, and I want more people to know like what someone that's been doing this for a long time like really feels and goes through. Honestly, I don't even think I consider myself like that long of a powerlifter. Enough sappy talk, enough sad talk. Let's talk about the future. The future, I'm competing in 7 weeks, guys. 7 weeks out. I think tomorrow it's 6, but speaking of the future, next to that meet, I am also releasing a clothing brand, which is nerve-wracking as hell. I'm so nervous for everything to be getting done the next few months. Like I have my first photo shoot with the shirts tomorrow, and I'm going to be releasing photos of them on the Instagram, on the website, so stay tuned for that. All right, so if you're brand new to the channel and you've watched all the way through to this ending right now, thank you so much. Hopefully you were able to take away something from this video, because I kind of wanted to just like talk about this for a long time. I didn't really know how to word it or verbalize it. So now that it's out, I'm excited to actually post this. But let me ask this to my audience right now. Who is your favorite content creator of all time? Of all time, any niche, any platform, it doesn't have to be fitness. Let me know in the comments below who your favorite creator is, and then I'll see who's actually watching this video right now. But yeah, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure to drop a subscribe, leave the post notifications on, or else you're never gonna see my videos on your feed. Leave a like, leave a comment for the algorithm, and then if you're not in the Discord already, join the Discord. It'll be right here. It'll be in the link description down below. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching episode 23 of the Meet Prep series. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.